We're here today because the towers, which have become symbols of various things, for some pollution, some of it as a landmark, they're coming down. They've been up there for many, many years, since the early 60s, and we've become accustomed to them. Some have seen them as an eyesore, others as a landmark, but whatever they mean to us, we know that they have been there. And whatever, whether we like them or not, we're going to miss them, that's for sure. Over the years, Pinelands in particular, Athlone, Langa, have experienced respiratory problems, and they've been mainly due to the towers being here. The pollution, the air pollution from the towers has been monitored. They have tried to reduce it over the years, but it's remained. I know, I lived under the towers for many years, and we could, at one stage the towers were taken out of commission, and we took measurements. When the towers came back into commission, we took measurements again. So there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that the towers are causing air pollution in the area. There's scientific evidence to that. And so they became a symbol. Now the towers themselves didn't cause the pollution, it's the chimneys next door. But because of the size and they're on the landscape, they became the symbol of the pollution. And there's been efforts for many, many years to try and have them removed. And today it's happening. We've already embarked on a public participation program, which I've chaired, looking at what could happen. We're hoping that the actual main buildings will remain and they can become a cultural centre. It's interesting, as we've gone around to the various communities, Langa, Athlone, Pinelands, to ask them what should happen, it's come very clearly that it must be a mixed use. From Langa, there's very much a feeling that we need educational centres here. From the Pinelands side, it's more of a housing and maybe a business, but there'll be a mix, whatever it is, and it's a long process to go ahead. It's a large piece of land, and we want to take everyone's views into account. The reaction to the towers coming down has been totally mixed. Some folk who have joined me over the years in saying we must demolish everything, and I was saying, well, shouldn't we save them? You know, whatever your views are on the towers, you will miss them. Whether you saw them as a landmark, whether you saw them as a symbol of pollution, whatever your view might be, whether it's a blot, whatever, they're going to be missed.
It started in 1957 when Eskom said to the city there would be no more power available from their grid. And in 61, this Athlone power station was commissioned to take up the slack that Eskom left us with. It's almost a full tilt. We experience the same lack of electricity throughout our country, and many local authorities will need to exercise that option of generating their own electricity for the citizens that they are responsible for. Today we see the culmination and the demise of the two ladies of Athlone that's been with us for over 50 years, and it was with sadness that we take leave of them. There's a bit of nostalgia, but I think the bigger picture is to see the potential that the removal of these towers presents for the city. A reinvigoration, a renewing of a strategic piece of land that integrates the people of Pinelands, Langa and Athlone. It's been part of the landscape for many years. Whenever I've gone to the airport, you pass the cooling towers. So yes, it is with a sense of sadness, but I think the expectation of renewal on this site leaves one with an excitement of what the future holds. Someone once said it's like an old pair of shoes. It's so comfortable, you don't want to get rid of it. But when there is a new pair that's on the shelf, you want to try that on. So the old needs to give way to the new. The power station originally was burning coal, and that obviously has a big carbon footprint. And so in the 2002 cycle, it was decided that we no longer needed electricity from this site, and this was an ideal way of lowering our carbon footprint for the city. So yes, it is with sadness that we get rid of it, but in fact in terms of environmental pollution, this is a positive sign. No more electricity will be generated on this site, but merely transmitted from Mpumalanga through to the southern part of our peninsula. But we look forward with anticipation of renewable energy sources, things like wind energy and solar energy coming part of the grid, and so effectively reducing our carbon footprint.
3, 2, 1. Blow out!